Welcome back. We're on day 2 of the Healthy Hips and Hamstrings program. I'm Jeremy Devins with Quiet Mind Yoga, and today we're going to focus on the outer hips and the glutes, the abductors and the glutes. And we'll get started right on our backs. Come on down and hug your knees in to start. Rock a little bit side to side, just connecting to your breath, starting slow. From here, keep your left knee bent, extend your right leg towards the ceiling. Just simple, gentle movements. Extend your left leg, keep your right knee bent. Going side to side, just hugging one knee in gently, extending the other leg gently. And then we'll go into happy baby, holding outside the legs or the feet. Same thing, extend one leg at a time and then the other. Starting simple, gentle, easing into the legs. And then from here, we'll bring the feet down to the mat, cross the right knee over the left, and scoot your hips over to the right. Hug the knees in towards your left into a twist. So the right knee's over left, legs to the left. Turn your head to the right as your arms open out in a T. And we'll come back to center. Other side, hips to the left, left knee on top, twist to the right. Turn the head away from the knees. This whole first week of the program is focused on listening to our bodies. So just not our deepest or strongest practice ever, but enough so that we can start to feel and notice new sensations in the hips, particularly today, the outer hips and the glutes. Come back to center, hug the knees in, and rock side to side. Massaging back, and then feet down to the mat, and press your triceps into the ground, fingers point towards the ceiling, and then just very lightly lift the hips off the mat, shoulders press down, and let your glutes contract towards the center. So you really lift through the glutes, engaging hamstrings and glutes. And then let that go for a moment. Let your sit bones widen. Let your back gently lower a little bit. Inhale to press up, engage the glutes. Small movement, not our biggest bridge pose ever. And exhale to let it go, widening the sit bones. Inhale, pressing into the glutes, pressing into the feet, lifting with the hips. Exhale, soften that. And then from here, we'll press into the triceps, lift the hips high into bridge pose. Here, if you have a block at home, you might want to put that between the thighs, just having something to squeeze into and engage your outer hips more. If you don't have a block, that's fine. Same thing, just engage the glutes. Thighs squeeze towards the center, but they don't move anywhere. So the hips, knees, and toes are still in the same line. Holding and breathing here, strengthening, engaging, contracting the glutes and outer hips. If you ever have low back pain, this is where I recommend you focus. Rather than trying to stretch the back, that might just make it worse. Focus on strengthening and then releasing all this stuff around that supports the back, the glutes, the outer hips especially, as well as strengthening the core, which we'll do more on our 5th day of this week of our program. Right, so let that go. It's a lot of time under tension there building strength. So let that completely release, let go of all effort. Let your knees just rock side to side. And again, back to center. Bridge pose, triceps press down, feet root, hips lift. Engage the glutes, engage the outer thighs, the abductors. And if you have a block, you can squeeze it between the thighs. And make sure the block's in a place that feels comfortable. So it shouldn't be like pressing into you uncomfortably. So you get a firm squeeze and hold. We are focused a lot on building strength and opening, so balance, not just super strong, not just super flexible, but access to both. And as I'll say a lot through this program, strength is built through time under tension, just maintaining contraction, engagement, not just contraction, but also eccentric movements. Where when we slowly release, we're also building strength and control of the muscle there. Right, hopefully I'm talking enough to distract you as you hold and breathe. If you need to rest at any point, please do. But if you can, maintain that contraction. And then we'll slowly lower down, let that go. And then let the knees rock side to side, feet a little wider apart. Letting go of the effort, right? A lot of us are good at engaging a lot and increasing effort, but it's not always as easy to wind down or release effort. So we want to be able to practice both. Okay, third variation, or third round, one more variation. So you can go to that first one without the block, you can use the block, or root deeply into your left foot, relax the toes, so your ball and heels root down, and then we'll lift through the right heel, lift the right foot, and then maybe extend the right leg towards the ceiling. And now your left hip might drop a little bit, but keep pressing into the foot, engaging your outer hip and your glute to help you balance here. Doesn't matter how vertical that right leg goes, any amount of this is going to put a lot more tension onto the left leg. And again, if this doesn't work, just go back to that first version. Last few breaths here, strengthening, stabilizing. Other side, right foot comes down, go right to the left side. Left heel lifts, left foot hovers, and then maybe left leg extends towards the ceiling. Right toes relax. Right hip might drop down, right? You might start to lose that strength. Do your best to press through the foot, lift through the hips, engage the glute, engage the thigh. Your arms can support you a bit, pressing into the triceps, give you just a little more of a downward energy so that you can get a little more upward energy. And then we'll lower the foot, lower the hips, rock side to side with the knees. A little bit to lengthen the hips, the outer hips here. Hug knees in, rock side to side. And then left leg over right. Hold the shins, lift the chest so you can grab the shins for reclined Gomukhasana, Supta Gomukhasana, and then lay back. So left knee's over right. Now the emphasis here is on stretching the outer left hip and glute. If this doesn't work, go to thread the needle. Figure 4 shape with the legs. That might be enough right there. You could also bring your right thigh in and clasp the hands behind the thigh. But if you're good in the first position, hold there, holding near the ankle on each foot. And less effort in the shoulders. Shoulders going down towards the ground. Feet are flexed, so active feet. Toes flexing back towards the knee on each leg. Slow, steady breaths. Notice if your chin starts to lift up towards the ceiling here, chin slightly drawn in, top of the head lengthens. If you know the bandhas, Jalandhara bandha, there's always some small engagement of the bandhas. It's a little beyond the scope of this series, but if you know the bandhas, use them. And then we'll release from there. Let everything go. Stretch the legs out. Stretch the arms overhead. Inhale. And then exhale. Bring the knees in other side. Either that reclined pigeon, the figure 4 shape, or right knee over left, Supta Gomukhasana. If you need to lift the shoulders just to get a good grip there, go ahead, but then let the shoulders relax. Active feet, so protect your knees. All those same cues, shoulders relax, chin slightly in, top of the head lengthens. If you've got more range of motion, you can increase the intensity a bit by lifting the shins, kind of ratcheting into the outer right hip more. Looking for about 60 to 80% of your capacity. Again, if you're in the figure 4 shape, shoulders still relaxed. Last couple of breaths here. And then we'll release, extend the legs out, extend the arms overhead, inhale. And exhale, hug the knees in, rock forward and back along the length of the spine. Coming all the way up to hands and knees. And listen to your body. Move forward, back, side to side. Anything that feels good. You might come into a child's pose. You might move with the breath. It might feel good to come in sort of a up dog or cobra pose. It's very challenging to be having a lot of focus on our thoughts and a sensation in the body at the same time. So notice sensations. See what your body needs here, particularly in the outer hips and glutes. Step your right foot forward, hands to your right thigh, drop into the left hip, lengthen the spine. Lower the hands, tuck the back toes, and step forward, knees bent, arms hang down. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, step the right knee back and down, hands to thighs, lengthen the spine, shoulders down the back. Lower the hands, step back to down dog, and pedal your feet out, shifting, slightly turning so you get a little more into the outer hip. Bending one knee at a time, going side to side. And then we'll bend the right knee deeply, turn the left foot down like warrior one, press into the arms, press back into the left heel, outer edge of your left foot, so you feel a stretch in the outer left hip. Keep the right shoulder in line with the left. Other side. Down dog. Right foot comes down. Left knee bends deeply. Press into the hands. Lift through the hips. So you feel the stretch in the outer right hip. Back to center. Step the right foot forward. And then left knee stays lifted. Hands come to the waist. Lengthen the spine up into a standing lunge. Shoulders down the back. A little bit more strength in here. Let your left knee bend as you exhale. Inhale to press up. Exhale down. Focusing on the right thigh. Press up. Inhale. Exhale down. Strong right thigh. More on the glute than the front of the leg. And then we'll lower back down. Step forward, forward fold. And this time keep the knees more straight. You can pedal the feet out a little bit here, shifting into the sides, the outer edge of the legs. Step the right foot back. Right knee stays lifted. Hands to hips, lengthen the spine. Shoulders down the back. Focusing again on the left glute, left thigh. Bend the right knee. Inhale, press strongly up. Exhale, lower. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale, step forward. And this time we'll bend the right knee a lot and fold over the left leg. Right heel might lift. Walk your hands a little bit to the left. Keep the legs just like they are. Other side, right foot down, left heel lifts, left knee bends. Walk your hands over to the right. The right leg is straight but not hyperextended. So you can have a micro bend in the right knee so the joint's not locked. And we'll come back to center. Inhale, lift halfway up. And exhale, step back, downward facing dog. And from here, we'll come down to hands and knees. A little bit stronger now through the glutes and outer thigh. Right leg extends straight back. Left arm extends forward. Hold and balance. Focus your gaze at a single point. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach out. Hold and balance and bend your right knee. Lift through the right thigh. Emphasis again is on the outer right hip and glute. Press through the right foot. So the foot is, as if you're trying to stand on the ceiling with the right foot. Left arm can stay out. If that's too much on your balance, you can lower the hand to help you stabilize. Right heel coming in towards the tail. And then we'll come into pigeon pose, right knee to right wrist. Tuck your left toes and shimmy your hips back. Press your left hand into your right foot. Lift your right knee and scoot your hips back even further. Top of left foot down, hands, fingers tented, and lengthen the spine. Good. And then we'll come back to hands, back to down dog. Pedal the feet out, shift side to side. Back to hands and knees. Left leg reaches straight back. Right arm reaches straight out. If that doesn't work, just use the leg. That's the emphasis today. Right arm is just to increase the intensity. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach and hold. Bend the left knee. Lift through the left thigh so you feel the glute engage. Flex the toes like you're standing on the foot on the ceiling. Lift. Hold and balance. Focus your gaze at a single point. I know this is challenging, maybe a little uncomfortable, and if you need to rest, you always can. But again, time under tension is what builds strength. And these muscles, especially the glutes, tend to be underused in our lives and even in yoga practice. It's easy to miss these kind of poses that are a little unorthodox. And from here, we'll come back out, press through the arm and the leg, and then exhale, knee to wrist, pigeon pose. Tuck your back toes, shimmy hips back. Right hand into the arch of the left foot. Lift the left knee and scoot everything back. So now your left shin's more parallel to the front of the mat. And if that doesn't work, just go back to where you were. Hands to fingertips. Top of the right foot down. Lift through the spine, lengthen, and drop the shoulders. So here there's some length and stability. And again, if you know the bandhas, the mula bandha, the pelvic floor slightly lifts up. The navel slightly draws in. So there's an internal center and core helping you balance here, helping you stabilize, even as we're strengthening and stretching. So it's not just muscular, it's also energetic. And then we'll come back to down dog. Pedal the feet out. And look forward, step to the front of your mat, forward fold. Pedal the feet a little bit here. Inhale, lift halfway up. And exhale, fold in. Inhale, lift halfway up. And then from here, you can use your hands to the floor or to a block Or you might just balance here, lift the right leg straight back, bend the right knee, lift through the right foot like we did on the ground just a moment ago. And then maybe you lift your left arm as well. Maybe your right hand catches the right foot. But just to hold it in balance there. It's a version of dancer pose, and using more of the strength of the right leg, lifting up. Less of the right arm doing anything, but just to touch to stabilize a little bit there. We'll lower the hands, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale here. You might use your block again. Bend the left knee. Your right knee can bend a little bit to help you balance. Lift your left foot towards the ceiling like we just did. And then right arm might extend out. Left foot might catch the back foot just to help you stabilize a little bit there. But more lifting through the left glute and thigh rather than pulling on the front of the right hip. Right? Everybody falls eventually, but especially when we're on camera and everyone can see us, right? So as you can, best you can, lifting through the left thigh. And if you need to come down, and just come right back up. We'll lower the leg, forward fold, separate the feet apart, hips lower to malasana. Hands to the heart, lengthen the spine. And then lift the hips here. Turn out to a wide stance. You can use your blocks under the hands. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold in. So I'll mirror you, walk your hands over to your left. And then walk your hands over to your right. And then to the center. Scoot your feet in, heel toe your feet in. A little bit closer to a horse stance. Knees bend, hips lower. Hands come to the heart. Press down through the feet. Lift through the chest. As you exhale, forward fold. Turn back to the front of the mat. Step back to down dog. And then lower the knees down. And come down to sitting. So from here, we'll cross the right knee over the left. Go Mukasana. If this doesn't work for you, you can just cross the right shin in front of the left. Sitting cross-legged. Inhale to reach the arms overhead. Exhale to interlace the fingers and press the heels of the hands towards the ceiling, shoulders down the back. If the right knee is over the left, make sure you haven't shifted all your weight to the left. So you're more centered, sit bones are rooted down. Remember, each week we'll build on the previous practice. So next week we'll do some stronger, deeper outer hip and glute strengthening. And if you notice this part of your body is weaker or stronger, you might balance that out by doing less or more. Lower the arms, let your legs out. Just for a moment, your knees can stay pretty bent, lengthen the spine, and fold over both legs. If you've got more range of motion, you might extend the legs, inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to fold. Not our deepest stretch ever. And then we'll come back up. Staff pose, hands beside the hips, press into the hands to lengthen the spine. And we'll go to the other side. Right knee bends, left knee on top. Notice if you shift to the right, come back to center. And again, option to just cross the legs. Inhale the arms up overhead. And exhale to bend the elbows to open chest and shoulders, shoulders down the back. And then interlace the hands behind you. Lift the chest. So there's a little bit of a back bend happening, even as we hinge into the hips, maybe to deepen this. So the spine is lifting, hips hinging forward. Think of cobra pose or cow pose here rather than a forward fold. And we'll release the hands. Let your legs out in front of you. Bring your right foot into the thigh. Shift your left foot a little bit forward. Turn your chest towards your left shin and fold in. If you're good there, we'll lengthen the spine. Bring the right hand to the right hand to the left foot. Lengthen the spine and rotate to your left. And then we'll come back down, other side. Right foot out, left foot in, lengthen, hands frame the right leg, hips are rooted for the sit bones, lengthen, and as you exhale, fold in. And if you're good there, you want a little more, bring your left hand to the pinky toe side of the foot, lengthen the spine, and then rotate to the right. For me, I don't have a ton of range of motion here, so I don't try to you don't want to turn your head further than the chest, so head in line with the heart, so your chest leads the movement. And if you want for the neck, you could rotate a little further. But that's all secondary. We're really focusing on lengthening the right leg right now. And also notice the energy in your body, right? As we start to slow down to close our practice out, just notice the energy of the body starting to come down. The access to strength and flexibility in the outer hips and glutes. Untwist back to center. And then from here, come down to your back. Knees hug in. Rock side to side. And then feet down to the mat. Right ankle over left thigh, like reclined pigeon pose. Shoulders relaxed, spine lengthened. And then bring this all over to your left. So your right foot lands on the mat or on the floor next to the mat. Arms open, turn your head to the right. If you want more intensity here, bring that bottom knee in. And if that doesn't work for you, you can cross the knees again, like we did in the beginning. Emphasis on outer right hip and glute stretching. And we'll come back to center, stretch both legs up, cross left knee over, left ankle over right knee into our pigeon pose, hips to the left. Revolved reclined pigeon, turn the head to the left. If you want more intensity, bring that bottom knee in or cross left knee over right. If your shoulders start to come up, externally rotate the arms. You might even scoot your right side of your body up, turning the head away from the knee. Then we'll come back to center, stretch both legs up, hug the knees in, rock side to side. Inhale in a big X shape, stretch everything out. Exhale, hug in, lift the shoulders. Inhale, stretch everything out, X shape. Exhale, hug everything in. Inhale, big X shape. And exhale, hug everything in. And then release the legs down. Brief Shavasana here. Inhale deeply. And exhale through the mouth. Inhale, whole body. Exhale through the whole body. Imagine your pores can breathe, inhaling deeply. And exhaling through the whole body. Next few breaths here just to rest in stillness. The top of the head, down to the feet, the whole body, becoming still. If you notice any obvious areas of tension in the body still, that can start to soften here. And if you have longer to stay in Shavasana, please do, but if you only have 30 minutes today, start to move your fingers and toes, wrists and ankles, arms and legs. Hug the knees in and rock forward and back on up to seated. Just taking a moment with the hands together at the heart, bowing the mind to the heart and to each other. Thank you for sharing your practice today. Namaste.